this video, we're being asked to find the unit tangent vector for a vector valued function that is given here. As a reminder, any unit vector in the direction of another vector can be determined by taking that vector and dividing it by its own magnitude. So a unit tangent vector is a unit vector in the direction of the tangent line, so we're going to take the derivative vector, also in the direction of the tangent line, divide it by its own magnitude so that we get a unit vector in the direction of the tangent line. So here we have our vector valued function, and the first thing that we need to do is find r prime t. In order to determine r prime t, we're going to need to determine the derivative of the x component, or our first parametric equation. Then we'll need to find the derivative of the second parametric equation, we'll call that g, and the third parametric equation, we'll call that h. So f at x, our first parametric equation, is t times e to the negative t. Its derivative is going to be determined by the product rule. So we'll say the first is t times the derivative of the second, which is minus e to the minus t after applying the chain rule, plus the second, which is e to the minus t, times the derivative of the first, and the derivative of t is just positive 1. So let's clean this up, and we end up with negative t e to the negative t plus e to the negative t as the first component of our derivative vector. So let's go ahead and pop that up here. We'll have negative t e to the negative t plus e to the negative t as that first component. Now, in order to determine the second component of the derivative vector, we need to look at the g function, which is 8 times the inverse tangent of t, and consider its derivative. The derivative of inverse tangent is going to be 1 over 1 plus t squared. So let's put this together. That'll be 8 over 1 plus t squared, and that's going to be the y component of my derivative vector. Now let's look at the z component of the original vector valued function, which is 4 times e to the negative t, and its derivative is going to be negative 4 times e to the negative t after the application of the chain rule. So that is our z component of the derivative vector, negative 4 e to the negative t, and we have completed part A. Part B of this problem says to evaluate the unit tangent vector when the parameter is equal to 0. In order to do that, we could do one of two things. We could first find the unit tangent vector general formula and then plug in t is equal to 0 to that. The other thing that we could do is to find the derivative vector evaluated at 0 and divide it by its own magnitude, and that will also give us the unit tangent vector evaluated at 0. Well, let's take a look at which one we would prefer to do. We currently have the derivative vector, and we could very easily plug 0 into this vector to get a nice, clean, constant vector. If we were to try to find the unit tangent vector in its general form, we would take this derivative vector and divide it by its own magnitude, generally speaking with t's included. And in order to determine the magnitude of this derivative vector, in order to be able to come up with this general form for the unit tangent vector, let's just take a quick look at what that's going to look like. We're going to have to square each of these components, add them together with the t's involved. So taking these quantities squared, adding them together, putting them all underneath this radical, that's just going to give us the denominator, and then that denominator is going to be divided into the original derivative vector. This would be terrible. This is going to give us a huge mess underneath this radical, and then that's going to be used in the denominator of this larger fraction. So this would take a long time to do it this way. Let's not do that. Let's instead come and determine what the derivative function evaluated at 0 would be. And as a reminder, our derivative vector function was negative t e to the negative t plus e to the negative t as the x component, 8 over 1 plus t squared as the y component, and negative 4 e to the negative t is the z component. When we plug 0 into that, we're going to get 0 plus 1 right here, so that's going to give me 1 as my x component. Plugging 0 into the parameter here, I'm going to get 8 over 1, which is going to be 8, plugging 0 into the parameter here, I'm going to get negative 4 times 1, which is going to be negative 4. So clean. And then we can determine its magnitude very easily when it's a constant vector. We square these components and add them together, which is 81 here, and the square root of 81 is 9. So the unit tangent vector evaluated at 0 can be determined by looking at the derivative vector evaluated at 0 divided by the magnitude of that vector, which is this derivative vector divided by 9, and our components will then be 1/9, 8/9, and negative 4/9. So much easier than finding the general form of the unit tangent vector first.